What's up, YouTube? It's your Lord and Savior KingD353 here, and I bet you're all wondering what game this is. Well, in short, it is a game called Animation Throwdown. It's a card game for Android and iOS, and as for why I'm recording a phone game so soon after not recording for a while is because while watching videos tonight and wondering if I want to record tonight at all, I ran into quite a few videos of this game, specifically talking about the better combos in the game, and I found I disliked all of them. So instead of doing Naruto, which I honestly don't want to do right now, I figured I would make my own video on the best combos in the game, but I would go about it in a completely different way. Now, for those of you guys who want to know what this game is, this video is technically for those who already know what it is, so if you want to know more about it and want to see me play it, put that down below, and I will. However, I'm already kind of far into the game, so you won't get to technically see me starting out if you ask for that. That aside, people who actually know what this game is, this video is for you. Using this handy-dandy archive feature right here, I'm going to be going through and telling you guys which cards I feel are best for combinations, so that you can save up those cards and learn the beauty that comes with them. I will also simply tell you what certain cards I know happen to do when combined to make that a tad easier for you as well. But we'll mainly be focusing on the cards I suggest for you all. So we're going to start with the commons so that this can be useful to those who are new to the game. Now, the best common card I find for combinations is this card right here, Propane. This card, if you like offensive cards, is a fucking beauty. Now, keep in mind, I obviously don't have every card in the game, so I could be wrong on this, but from what I have seen at least, the Propane card is a must-have for offensive players. As you can see here, Chris doesn't really fit the mold, but you will find with Peter Griffin, Hank Hill, Bender, and Fry, they all get the punch ability, as well as getting pretty decently high attack. Well, it doesn't show here with the 5s, but trust me, when you level up the cards, their attack becomes pretty good, especially when in conjunction with their punch ability. If this is your first card out, you're almost guaranteed to wipe out everything in your path and give yourself the immediate advantage. As you can see from the fact that everyone has a punch ability except for Chris, and Peggy here gets the crazed ability, this card is basically made for offensive, all-out warfare, and it does its job damn well. Especially if you start with the King of the Hill deck, in which Hank Hill will become one of your bread and butters, or with a Futurama deck, in which Fry here will become bread and butter of your deck. Either way, you get very, very good starting cards, with Hank healing himself with every attack, meaning he can keep his rampage going for quite some time. And Fry gaining the bomb ability as you level his card up. Can I actually show you guys that? No, I cannot, sadly. Because technically with regular cards, you can actually show how strong they become as they level up. But sadly, it seems I can't do it with combos, so I can't show you guys how powerful Fryski becomes. But Fryski actually gets bomb as well once you level him up some, so it becomes deliciously dangerous. Just beautifully dangerous, this card. So, another card I suggest for people first starting out is actually Hank Hill. Now, Hank Hill doesn't exactly have a commonplace of all his cards, like you saw that with Propane. A commonplace was a lot of punch cards and all-around offensive cards. Hank doesn't necessarily have any common ground between his cards, but as far as first starting goes, at least with the current on the house effect in the game, Hank is extremely useful for defensive wall with Drunk Hank, and he has two more beautiful combinations in the form of Propane Hank, which, as I already told you guys, is an offensive beast, and Devil Hank, who is essentially Propane Hank, but on steroids, because not only does he get the punch and the fangs, and his attack is just higher by default, he also gets the gas, which adds that much more damage to him against other cards. Granted, gas isn't the greatest ability ever, honestly, but it's damage. It's damage. And since your starting deck are going to be King of the Hill centric, that also means that, oh wait, no, never mind. Music Hank does, well, I think Music Hank gains cheer as he levels. But really, Hank is mainly useful for starting decks because of Devil Hank will get costume immediately. Grand Theft Auto Hank, because you get Propane after a few bought packs since it's a common. And Drunk Hank, which I believe you should get immediately because if memory serves, alcohol is a starting card. Also, I know I said this was going to be like the best combinations, but just a heads up from what I've heard, Fry becomes pretty shit in the future. However, two combos I can definitely tell you are going to get a lot of love when it comes to Fry are his Fry Squee and Fry, which is just beautiful. But because it gets Crazed, which is an amazing ability if you can keep your guy alive, and what do you know, drunk cards actually heal for like the next 20 days thanks to the field effect, so Drunk Fry for at least the next 20 days are going to be very useful to you guys as well. And since the on the house effect is a thing, you want to get alcohols. You want to utilize alcohols as much as you possibly can, because these cards are going to wall everything for you. Few exceptions there, you can see just cause damage. A good chunk of these are bulky. Just stock up on alcohols while the on the house field effect is still in play. You will not regret it. Now, as for uncommons, I technically didn't make much combination of this card myself, but from what I've seen, Quagmire, who I believe is a part of the starting Family Guy deck, is immensely useful beginning game with combinations, because he's one of the few starting cards who gets a bunch of crazed combinations. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, crazed, well, you guys should know, this video is for people who played this game. Craze will increase your attack every time you attack. Quagmire, when mixed with music, or mixed with whatever the hell makes computer porn Quagmire, because, again, I didn't use Quagmire personally. I've done combinations done in videos and such, but those two combos will give you some nice crazed power, and crazed is just, it's beautiful. You want crazed in your deck. You want crazed in your life. Again, we're currently in the on the house field, so stock up on drunk. You want that. Another card that is amazingly useful beginning game is Luanne. Now, you wouldn't think Luanne would be useful early on because Luanne is just... her combos are honestly quite meh, really. The closest thing to a truly good combo Luanne gets would have to be Devil Luanne. All the other Luanne combinations require she be in a King of the Hill deck, but Devil Luanne matched for quite some time, and early game her damage out is just amazing. So the fact that she has the ability to stay alive while having good damage output, she'll make King of the Hill decks specifically, those starting decks, she will be your bread and butter when it comes to defense. She will save your life. So, just, if you start off with Bobby Hill as your starting character, just love Luanne. She's gonna be beautiful at the start. Only the start, though. As you guys remember, I told you, Propane, beautiful beautiful of offensive combat, which I do. I am all about that hyper offensive. For those who don't know what it means, hyper offensive means your deck basically revolves around hurting people. The best defense is an offense. Burgerboss is basically the equivalent, the rare equivalent to Propane. Burgerboss will give you the same combinations that Propane does, which is technically bad. That's kind of unoriginality on their part, but it's also good because once you realize that those beautiful, beautiful combos that you got with Propane that was wrecking fucking house, you can get with Burgerboss. So keep that in mind. Once you get Burgerboss, replace your Propanes with it, assuming, of course, your Propanes aren't combined, in which case, don't waste your Propanes. Wait till your Burgerbosses are combined, then get rid of your Propanes. Or don't. These cards are fucking amazing. Build Tree. Thanks to the on the house field effect, Bill is also great for starting decks, but less for combinations and more for himself, which is why I'm not going to focus on him too much. But again, be drunk, friend. That's really all there is to Bill, because this is supposed to be combinations. I actually got distracted. This card right here, my favorite combination card, Stan the Man. Stan's combination cards, more specifically with crack and with alcohol, are beautiful. First, well, this is actually also a good combination, but I'll get back to that one later. First, we got Crack Stan, who has not only a wall ability, so he'll survive longer, he gets crazed. Crazed with walling? Oh god, it's orgasmic. It's almost as orgasmic as what, so far for me, I see as the best combo in the game, especially during this field effect. Drunk motherfucking Stan. Now, just ignoring the field effect, let's look at this card here. So we got a pretty decent attack at 8. This is its starting attack, by the way. Its attack will get higher as you level up the card. Has a starting attack of 8. Of HP, it's decent HP. It's not amazing, but it's pretty for a rare card. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Free wall, which means he can take hits for days. The punch ability, which, as you guys know, I fucking love because at higher levels, basically. I'm trying to think of the right word, but it is levels. I'm not oversimplifying. Punch can be amazing, especially for breaking them early and just giving yourself the advantage. But the piece de la resistance, double craze. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why does that matter? I mean, Crack Stan had that too, and he has that fart cloud thing, right? Well, Drunk Stan has more attack. Drunk Stan has punch, which means he can add to his already ridiculous damage, which again is getting more ridiculous because crazed. He can take hits to the wall, and most beautifully of all, we're still in the on the house field effect. And this is Drunk Stan. So, Drunk Stan gets healed. Drunk Stan, who has a wall to protect him, and has craze to get stronger, every time he attacks, gets healed. While on the house is in play, this card is God. Now, these cards are great, but personally, I find these outright offensive ones great too. But combos I feel need to be mentioned are Celebration Stan, who gives a pretty big boost to allies with that free note. That free note means cards adjacent to him are going to get free extra attack. So I find the extra attack is very good when you want to get something killed immediately. And he's pretty bulky and has payback, so that's a card that I felt deserved to be... That's a combination that I feel deserves to be mentioned. This combination can be made by putting toy card, basically. And any alcoholic beverage card. Crack Addict Stan is unsurprisingly when mixed with crack. And Stan's Grill. This one is gained by getting Stan with any form of money card. The money cards being Golden Poop, Life Savings, and $1 million beer can, yeah. Now, again, this is good because it has the great little boost to allies adjacent to Stan, as well as Stan's vampire ability, which means he'll be healing himself every time he attacks, as well as the fact that Stan's Grill has a surprisingly high offensive power, which is just great, because not only is he boosting his allies, he himself is a pretty beefy motherfucker. So, yeah, Stan, I find, has some of the best combos in the game. Now, this is a combo I personally don't care much for, but my apologies. This is a combo I personally don't care much for, but I also feel the need to mention Stan's costume-based transformation, which is the Cowardly Lion Stan, because of the fact that it's very good at crippling and has the recoverability, which will make his HP increase whenever you make a combination go down. For bulk and just crippling opponents, as well as the fact that it has a pretty decent attack and HP. So, yeah, although that's not my cup of tea as an offensive player, you want to keep that Stan in mind as well. Peggy Hill. Wait, what? Educated. Okay, as somebody who occasionally watches the Hill, seeing she's an educated card I find hilarious. But that's beside the point. Peggy, although only here for 2 cards, is still somebody that I find... Actually, no, 3 cards. Is still somebody I find to be someone you want to take note of. Skydiving Peggy. I just like this card because I found out the hard way from the computer that once you level up Skydive Peggy up quite a bit, how Propane, Hank, and Fry, and Bender, and early game destroyers, Skydiving Peggy is an early game destroyer who can get stronger with her boost ability that will increase her attack further whenever you make a combo. So early game, Skydiving Peggy is a win condition. Other good Peggy cards, which again, I feel are best done at the beginning of the match so that they get time to become amazing, are Peggy with the video game based things, Propane, Burgerboss, the epic and legendary equivalents those are, which God, has Craze, so once again, start get back, although again, this is one of my least favorite video game based ones, so. And Drunk Peggy also has Crazed, and heals every turn. If you have Peggy make fucking use of her before on the house thing goes away, Drunk Peggy is good on the stage. Make use of it. Well, this technically isn't here on combos, but rather this is here to let you guys know that again, cards do have come up with the same combos. So that's gonna let you guys know that the Burger Suit is basically the epic equivalent of that common money one that I was talking about, lottery winnings. I believe the cigarettes are the common equivalent to the rare crack. So yeah, keep in mind some of the combos you find, if you can find the later level equivalents for them, then you combos that you love so much to a higher playing field. As for actual epic combinations, sadly, I don't have much to help you guys with. Bender and Peter are both the only legendary cards I have, and as far as they go, they are mainly bulky cards, which, again, I am an offensive player, so I don't do much when it comes to bulk. But one combination I find especially useful with Bender is Bender's Daycare, because it's one of the few cards that has a good healing ability that doesn't require you to be from the same show as the card itself. So Bender's Daycare can actually really help you out when it comes to healing your own allies. Not to mention it has that blocking, which is also quite helpful. Also, let's see, do I have the combination here? I think I do. 1 second. I don't have... Oh, here it is! Werecar. Now, this isn't actually in my deck, because I find the vehicle cards tend to just honestly have horrible combinations. But when combined with Bender specifically, the Werecar is a beautiful card, because it has Crazed and Vampirism, which I don't actually know the name of that ability, but basically, every time it attacks, not only does it get stronger, it heals. The Werecar is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best Bender combination, which in my personal opinion means it's one of the best combinations in the game, because it's a combination that includes a legendary card. This card has the staying power and offensive power to crush fucking souls. So that is something you'll want to keep in mind when you have Bender out. So Bender is most useful for the Werecar. For Bender is great 34. And for Bender's Orphanage. Now that's it for what's the best ones, but there are some ones that I've noticed have a, have a pattern to them. They will tend to give you the same type of thing. My examples of this are... music. Musical-based cards will almost give you cheerers. So if you need cards to boost your allies, usually allies from the same show, mind you, so keep that in mind. Music seems to have a high percentage of cheer cards in it. Dale becomes a cheer card. Hank, I believe, becomes a cheer card. Washboard Bill is one of the exceptions to the rule. Oh, I actually don't... I guess the other ones I have of Lois's Piano, but yeah, that will tend to give you things that will boost your allies. Luanne is another card that most of her things are going to be based on defense and boosting allies. You will not find many Luanne combinations that result in power. Lois, on the other hand, does seem to be one that focuses around her attack power. But I don't have much combinations of her myself, so I can't show you that on my own. Quagmire seems to have a lot of gas-based combinations and a lot of crazed combinations, which is legitimately surprising. I don't know why Quagmire would be seen as a crazed person. Elderon. Most of the combinations of Elderon are going to be healers. So this card, research it with other cards if you want healers specifically. Teddy, from what I've seen so far, will also bring up more motivation-based cards, so do that if you want cards that will heal. And Piano, again, like the music, is going to get you cheering-based cards that will boost your allies. Let's actually see if I have them. Yeah, see? We got Meg here with her motivation. We got Peter here with his motivation and cheer. We got Klaus here with his cheer. Again, becomes a cheer in the future. Fry hair for his chair, Bender hair for his chair. So yeah, the piano and music, those will tend to give you chairing-based cards. Anyway, that's really all there is to go over here. I've gone over what I feel are the best combinations, both early on and later on, and I've went over some of the pattern cards, like music constantly getting you chair-based cards, and propane being offensive-based. Anyway, that's really all there is to this video. I'm sorry if it was clumsy. I am not a fan of scripting things because I feel like just the emotion about things just get ruined with scripts, but screw it. I hope you found this useful. I'll probably make a part 2 because I'm going to ask my guild about their combinations. And I want you guys to put down some of your favorite combinations in the comments below, because I'm no fool. I know I don't know everything, and I certainly know that I don't know what the best combinations of the game are. All I can give you is my personal opinion. I'm no top tier player. I am no god. However, with your help, I want to expand this. I want to add to it. I want to find out from defensive players. What do you defensive players find are the best combinations in the game? Maybe I'll make that part 2 if people actually want it and help with it. And if you want to see me actually play this game in the future, tell me, and I'll happily play a few challenge matches, a few PvPs. I would love to play this game for you guys, or maybe other phone games in general. But that's beside the point. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, ask them down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Deuces, YouTube.